EBR 105, so far the biggest pain in the existence on the battlefield when it comes to the wheeled vehicles in this game. But guys, we have a new kid on the block knocking behind the door, trying to get in, and there is this tank right over here, Concept 5 or Concept number 5. This is the Tier 10 British wheeled medium tank, the cherry on the top of the tech tree. And today we are going to take our first look at this vehicle. Is it going to be as big of a nuisance on the battlefield? Is it going to absorb as many shots and is annoying to play against as all the other wheeled vehicles we have over here? First of all, this is how the vehicle looks like, kinda like buffed up Lynx. You know, Lynx has 6 wheels as well, kinda has the same vibe to it, but this one, of course, being a tier 10, it is way bigger, way buffier, bigger gun and all those things. Personally, I cannot hate the look. It feels to be a pretty massive tank actually. Maybe it's just a matter of perspectives over here, but it seems to be a lot bigger and easier to hit than other wheeled tanks. But of course, looks is one thing, how it plays and how balanced it is a completely different story. So for that, let's have a look at the first characteristics, what they shared with us yesterday actually. So, firepower, it has kind of unique alpha damage, like in the previous episode I covered the Kampfpanzer 07PE that had 410 alpha damage, which we didn't have before. Now this one is coming in with 430 alpha damage or 515 with high explosive. 260 penetration with a standard AP with 1200 shell velocity, you know, pretty nice. The premium APCR packs 318 penetration with 1420 meters per second shell velocity, and it doesn't have the Hesh round or high penetration, high explosive. It has 55 millimeters of penetration only. Reload time 11.7 seconds base reload time, which puts the DPM actually only 2200 for a tier 10 medium tank. You know, this is nothing special, but let's say if you're able to boost your reload time down to like 9 seconds, 9.2, 9.3 seconds, you are going to get around 2700 or 2800 DPM. So DPM wise, definitely it is not going to shine the most, but look at the gun handling. Aiming time 1.8 seconds, pretty damn good. Dispersion at 100 meters 0.31, pretty damn good as well actually, you know, right out from the gate. -8 degrees of gun depression, 16 degrees of gun elevation, and it has 40 shells in the tank. So overall firepower, I can say, looks pretty nice actually. The weakest thing of course being DPM over here, but as we know, DPM is not everything or does not mean everything. It has pretty juicy alpha, it has good gun handling, at least on the paper it seems like good shell velocity numbers, -8 degrees of gun depression, so overall looking quite solid. Next up, mobility, and we need to talk about that quite deeply because it has some key differences when it comes to the wheeled light tanks, for example, and when it comes to the wheeled tanks. Overall, mobility is one of the key things balancing those tanks, right? So, top speed, 65 kilometers per hour top speed, 32 moving backwards, and those wheel tanks are not going to have 2 different driving modes. This is what you get, and this is what is available for you all the time. So 65 top speed, yeah, it is definitely not the slowest tank on the battlefield, one of the faster ones, but not like 10 times faster than other medium tanks. 32 backwards mobility though is one of the best right over here. A 580 horsepower engine, 25.2 power to weight ratio, and hull traverse speed 40 degrees per second. And when we're talking about hull traverse speed, then or hull traverse overall, then this is where those tanks differ from the wheeled light tanks quite a bit. Wheeled light tanks, as we all know, are not able to turn while standing still, but as you can see from this clip, what they revealed in their developer diaries episode, or actually the roadmap episode talking about wheeled tanks, mediums are able to turn while standing still. You know, it is very useful in let's say very narrow or tight areas, tight corners where you want to turn around to run away. With wheel tanks you have to do that, you know, back and forth, wiggle a bit, and then you are able to run away faster. But over here with this tank you are able to turn while standing still. And another difference is the penalty when one of your wheels is damaged. So far, what we know is that if wheeled medium tanks, one wheel gets damaged, you are losing 60% of your mobility. Not like 25 mobility loss on wheeled medium tanks. But wheeled medium tanks, you know, the damage racks up faster the more wheels are damaged. Over here, the first one has the biggest hit, and then, you know, you do not lose that much extra on the top when you lose more wheels. But, you know, something to note, which makes it easier to take them out, especially if one wheel is damaged already. Yes, you are not able to drag them, but you're able to slow them down quite drastically. And overall, the hull is bigger, the hull area behind the wheels is bigger, so overall it should be easier to damage those vehicles, even if you only hit the wheels. And moving on to the survivability, while we're talking about damaging this vehicle, it is going to have 1800 hit points, hull armor 70, 40 and 35, turret 150, 50 and 40. So I guess the 150 is only in the gun mantlet, but in a nutshell, as it is a tier 10 medium tank, looking at those armor values, basically everything what is able to see this tank is able to penetrate it as well. Concealment values 18 while stationary and 13 while moving. So concealment, you can actually think about boosting it with some, you know, depending on the build, but with some builds, concealment skill, for example, might be useful over here. And 400 meter view range as well. It is also going to have 3 crew members, no loader, so commander, gunner and driver. Someone has to do the loading. Hopefully not the commander. Who could do the loading? Well, I would not like to see driver also doing the loading. Well, I guess it is going to be commander who most likely does the loading over here while scanning around the enemy tanks. So concept 5, ladies and gentlemen, the cherry on the top of the British wheeled medium tank tech tree, which starts from tier 5 as far as we know, from the Covenanter. So if you want to get a little head start, start collecting experience on your tier 5 Covenanter right now, and you can jump into the AEC armored car right away, then the Stag Hound Mark III, then the Scheme A, Saladin, G-Sor 1006, and then concept number 5. All those tanks can be yours. So what is your take on it so far after what you have seen from today's video? Like, does it seem to be balanced? Does it seem to be more balanced than the wheeled light tanks compared to the other light tanks? Like this medium tank compared to the other tier 10 medium tanks? How would it, or how does it feel like to you so far? And also a quick reminder to all of you who still have some stuff in the Ranked Battles store, because it will be discontinued. They said that they want to continue with the Onslaught season, and with all this in mind, we have decided to discontinue Ranked Battles with the release of the next update. So what you have to keep in mind is that some things are not going to be available for you to pick up from the Ranked Battle store anymore. Like when the next update lands in the World of Tanks, the Ranked Battle store and all the exclusive items it contains will become unavailable. However, they are trying to figure out how to implement the 114 SP2, for example, into the Onslaught mode and make it available for bonds. In the meantime, be sure to use your personal cumulative discounts and get unique items while you can. And over here, we have some customization items, the temporary seasonal rewards that you may have received for your league's status, badges and customization items will soon be removed and disappear with the release of the next item update. The performance engraving for your dog tag and the ranked charge progressive decal customization will remain yours permanently. So if you still have something to pick up over there with a discount, make sure to do it now before it is too late. And ladies and gentlemen, this is me done with today's video. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section down below. What do you think about the wheeled medium tanks overall? Yay or nay from you? How does the balance feel like, and all those things? Let's have a little discussion in the comment section. I thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next time with something else. Until then, have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.